Hello and welcome to NewsNight, where we talk to some of the major players in Nigeria's journey to growth and development. I am Ladi Akiridoluale. Thanks for being with us. Today on the program, our focus is on indigenous manufacturing and some of the challenges faced by entrepreneurs within the country. My guest has been in this sector for a while and says power supply and the situation at Nigeria's ports remain major challenges facing his group. He, however, notes that unless Nigeria backs indigenous manufacturing and local value addition, many of its economic aspirations will not materialize. NewsNight talks to the chairman of one of the country's first indigenous manufacturer of automobiles, Innoson Vehicle Manufacturing, Chief Innocent Chukwuma. Chief Chukwuma, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Before this interview, the central bank says it will not be selling dollars anymore to bureau de change. As one of the major players in Nigeria's economy, what do you think about that, and will it impact you in any way?
I hope it will be better for manufacturers, because most time when we apply for dollar in the bank, officially for LC, it will not be available. So when they did this one, I believe the money will be in the bank for LC. Because when you buy money from the bank as LC, you pay duty and everything will go to government. But you are selling black market, somebody can use it to import something that is illegal even. So it is good for government. It's good for Nigeria.
What you talked about has been the experience of most people, which is that when they then apply to the banks, all kinds of hurdles are placed in the way that make it impossible for people who want to pay to government, who want to deal with government, to access the money. So they end up going back to these people who government does not want them to pay.
Normally, all of us are going, we are buying money from most time I buy export proceeds, almost black market. But I think if they stop giving individuals British money, I believe there'll be enough in the bank, in the CBN, to sell to the people who need the dollar, like us manufacturers. But sometimes when they're giving dollar cash to people, they won't have enough to give to manufacturers. So I think it's better for manufacturers.
This government, the government that is currently in power, and even governments before them, have always talked about the fact that they want to make it easier for manufacturers to do business. The ease of doing business, from registration to importation to congestion at the ports and places like that. What has been your experience, if we say, in the last 10 years? I know your business is much older than that, but in the last 10 years, have you seen improvement in all these areas that they mentioned that they want to improve?
Government wants things to be easier for manufacturers, but implementation is not easy, because most time you say that you want it to be fast and this, but there's no load to the wharf. How can it be possible? So if they get the road correct, another thing will come up. So most time, hurdles is the problem. It's not that in their mind they want it to be easy, but it's for them. Now, even in Port Harcourt today, most factories are not working anymore. Some factories that import their raw material, they are not working because there's no load to come out of the Port Harcourt. The Ogun people block the road, say that the road is not good for
yes, because it's part of the east-west.
So most people that get their raw material to Port Harcourt are not working.
But for someone like you, you mentioned earlier when you say LC, and for our viewers who are not in business, I think you are referring to letters of credit.
Yeah, letters of credit, yeah.
Okay. In that kind of situation, how easy has it been? Has it become easier for you to be able to process a letter of credit, for example?
Yeah, it's very easy to process a letter of credit, but it's not easy to source dollar for the letter of credit.
In order to pay the
supplier.
Abroad.
Yeah, it's not easy.
When you talk
most time when
growth,
it delays, I pay black market.
So now that black market is going to probably...
Black market are coming in from so many stocks, individuals. Some people that do export say the export produce All of them is not that black market comes from so many ways. Some people do export. Even I do some export. I utilize my own too. Yes, sir.
Right here in Newi, where your factory is,
Yes.
The issue of infrastructure, of which one is the road that you mentioned. From here to Aba, to Port Harcourt, to Enugu, and so on, all the places where you may want to go and pick raw materials from or supply things to. Our own experience with the road, even coming down here, was not very pleasant. There are now many checkpoints. That speaks to security. I'm going to come to that later on. But how easy is it for someone like you who has to send things back and forth all the time to different places, Lagos, even Abuja, and so on?
It's not easy, but we are on it for a long time. We have the experience. So we are managing and we are trying to make sure that we deliver our goods everywhere. Yes, and that's why most time now you find out that transportation is the major factor in everything in Nigeria today. Because before, getting a trailer of raw material from Lagos to come down to East is equivalent to 1 million naira for the trailer transport, for the transport. So with that, it's major. But normally, about 10 years ago, it's not more than 150,000. But today, it goes to 1 million naira from Lagos to here. Why? The reason the transporters are complaining is that when they go to Lagos, go to Apapa to blood something, they will stay 1 week on Apapa before come out from Apapa.
That's the port.
The port. Yes, sir. They will stay 1 week in Apapa load before come out of that Apapa. So they will charge you all the days. So they say that is why their transport cost is higher. We don't have choice. You understand? So we pay and bring our goods so that the factory will be working. Because
but doesn't that present you with a problem? Because these are things that are happening. It's not a once and for all thing. It's forever happening. You are collecting things from there. You are sending things through there.
Yes.
And I know that there was a time when, in order to reduce this congestion, government reduced the number of agencies at the ports. They asked some people, some of the agencies.
Agencies is not issue now. The issue now is the road to the port. Agencies, immediately you pay your duty well, you get your goods immediately. Customs are not delaying anybody again.
But
Yes.
the road, when you say the road, you mean to get out?
To get out or get in. The road to the wharf is not okay. To get into the wharf and get out of the wharf, the access load is not true. So that's where the problem is. It's not the issue of custom. Custom is no longer delaying people. When you pay your normal duty and they check your goods okay, you go normally. That issue, government have tackled it. Yes, the issue they are having now is the issue of access load to the wharf.
But why must everybody go to Lagos? You are in Newi here. There are ports.
Well, even in Port Harcourt today, we have some raw material coming from Port Harcourt Wharf. For the past 1 week, there's no road. They said that Ogoni people blocked the load and said that their load is spoiled, nobody is taking care of the road. So they are looking to government. You understand? The state government and federal government, I don't know who is supposed to do that. So we are begging them to look at the load and know how to solve the problem so that things will go in. Because our raw material now, cannot come out. You understand? And they can't produce without raw material. So it's important.
Would you not prefer, as someone based here, would you not have preferred, say, a port in a place like Warri? Would that not have made more sense?
We're supposed to, no, if we have more ports, it is good if they can be able to do it. But even the one we have, let us have access load to it. No matter, even though you have 100 wharves, but there's no access load, it's the same problem. So I think those ones we have, let them make access roads available so that it will be easy for people.
One of the things that people like you had faced in the past is the issue of taxation. Federal government has its own set of taxes. State government have their own set of taxes. Local government have their own set of taxes. And there was the push to say, look, instead of everybody piling on the tax on people who are trying to do value added, can we have one tax which they pay? And then you, at the level of government, you can go and decide how to share whatever it is that they have paid. But that way, they don't keep moving from office after they pay this one. Another group of people will come with another requisition and so. Is it easier now for you to have your records in order in terms of what you owe by way of taxation?
Well, I believe the taxation problem is everywhere in the country. And most time, states are coming for payee tax only. Federal governments are coming for company tax. And each of them is going to their own route. But if there's a way the taxes will be together, it is okay. It will be okay for everybody. But I don't think that issue of tax is a major issue because normally I pay payee every month. Yes, and I pay VAT every month. So when you manage your tax very well, you won't have issue of tax because if you are sure you keep the record very well and pay tax to this and tax to this, it's not issue. But when you compare it for so long, most times it will be a problem.
What is the major problem that manufacturers face now? Because you say, I've heard you use the word phrase, it's not the major problem. It's not the major. What is the major problem now?
Well,
if you are to identify one or two or maybe even three major problems that manufacturers face, what are they?
Each manufacturer has its own problem, peculiar problem on that particular. Example, I have a largest plastic factory in Enugu, and the raw material comes majority from Element Petrochemical. But most time, Element Petrochemical will produce and export. They cannot supply local manufacturers.
Why?
They don't have. You understand? They will export.
They don't have enough. They don't have enough capacity.
They don't have enough capacity to supply everybody, and they export. And when they export, I'm sure they have to export to get foreign exchange, which is important to them. You understand? So, and we price manufacturer, they don't authorize people to import the raw material. So we are waiting for them. Sometimes you wait for them, you cannot produce.
What do you do in that kind of situation where you
That is why most plastic manufacturers in Nigeria today are not doing well, because there is no raw material for them to produce. They change their prices every week. So prices changing every week is difficult for manufacturers.
You in particular became famous because you invested in an area where it was not normal for businessmen to go, which is the issue of vehicle manufacture. Prior to your own going into it, it was mostly government that set up factories and so on. That is it.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you do so?
Oh, good questions. Number one is that I know much about automotive. I spend all my time on automotive business, so I know much about automotive. And I've been spare parts dealer for years, so I have a lot of experience on spare parts and everything about spare parts. The system, I have so much idea personally. So when I study the motor manufacturing, and I study why most of them in Nigeria fails, when I'm entering the manufacturing, it is when the other companies are going down, because I see why they're going down.
Because many people wondered why you went into it when everybody else was leaving.
I see why they're going down, because they did not start it the way it will go down. But I started it the way it won't go down. It will go up, because I see their fault. I'm into the business.
What were those faults? Can you give me an example or two of what the faults were? Why did they go down? Because we had Volkswagen here, even in Anambra here, we had Anamco and so on.
Number one, all of them is assembling, but I'm doing manufacturing.
For the layman, what's the difference?
The difference is that those people that are assembling can have a contract with your overseas company to packaging something for them to assemble according to how the company said. But my own, I do manufacturing. I manufacture those items. I buy it from the manufacturers who produce those items. I didn't specialize in one company to supply me components. Those people specialize in one company to supply them components. If you're producing engine, if I discuss with you, your engine quality is this standard, what I want, because I know the system. I book the engine from you. If you are producing headlights, your quality is okay for me. I buy it from different company and buy the engine from you. I go to the chassis maker and tell him what I want on the chassis. They produce it for me. Then when I get all these things together, that's how I make my own. But others, we go to a company and the company will give them what they have. So if that company have any disagreement with you, your factory will close. You understand? But my own, if any supplier have disagreement with me, I will go to another supplier and get the same thing.
It hasn't been easy though.
Yes,
you've had a lot of problems.
Because I have the experience, I know the system, I know the spare parts, I know the brands, I know the quality ones, I know everything about spare parts. Somebody who doesn't know those things can never do that.
Yes, but I was saying that you've had difficulties, maybe not on the production side until maybe COVID and other things came, but on the side of getting people to buy into this idea of made in Nigeria car. You had a battle over that.
No.
If it is over, because I'm saying no.
Let me explain that for you. When I start, Nigeria doesn't believe that it can happen in this country.
Yes.
But my duty is to do it right. Some people continue to test. Sometimes your neighbor will come home with my vehicle. We wish him. At least we have lasted about 12 years in the market. Nobody is saying today that a Innoson vehicle is not a quality car. Because number one is that the quality is more. Because I pick correct items to produce. Most people who doesn't know about spare parts don't know which one is correct or not. But we know. So that's why, and sometimes they say spare parts. We are the people who will say that the spare parts of those vehicles will not be in market. We are the people that distribute spare parts everywhere. So Innoson spare parts is everywhere, and I make sure we are producing the high quality. That is very important. My quality is in my vehicle everywhere. Because I'm always trying to get the best of the components. I have some equipment to check some components. Sometimes I send it outside my factory to check. To make sure the quality is okay. And as far as the quality is okay, it will last what you expected it to be.
The other thing, of course, is that you it would appear as if you had the problem that every person who does made in Nigeria has, which is getting your consumer, the Nigerian, to buy it.
There's one thing with Innoson vehicle today. Nigerians are seeing it as their own vehicle. They are patronizing us.
That's now.
Now, all Nigerians, when you are driving Innoson vehicle on the road, you will see people who doesn't know you will wait for you. Show you love.
Why is that? Is that because they now...
Because they find out it's really made in Nigeria. If you are driving Innoson vehicle, you must be happy with people. Everybody will be greeting you, thanking you that you are using Innoson vehicle. You have to try and get one and drive so that you can see what I'm telling you. Anybody that driving Innoson vehicle, people will like him more because they know he's supporting this nation. Everybody's supposed to. Innoson vehicles in Nigerian products. Anywhere you see Innoson vehicles from Nigeria. The only motor has a mark in the body made in Nigeria. So all Nigeria have to support it.
But you've been affected by some of the policies that have taken place, even regarding automotives, which, for example, the continuous allowance of bringing in new and used vehicles from other places means that the market that you have or that you could have had is affected by that. How has that translated for people like you? Because you went into this at a time when government was encouraging people to go into made in Nigeria.
I didn't go to motor manufacturing for government to ban motor sellers or dealers. I go there to develop it, to support my nation, so that people will see the vehicle and be happy with it and buy it by themselves.
I'm asking you because you are the one I'm sitting with.
Yes.
But this question usually applies to all those who are doing the kind of business you are doing.
Yes.
Local manufacturing. You started off, as you pointed out earlier in the interview, you started off with selling parts.
Yes.
So when you leave that, because that one seems to be hassle-free, you bring in the parts, you sell, you collect your money, you remove your profit, you go back, you buy more, and so on. So all the profit accumulates. Why leave that and go into the troublesome business of chasing?
That's a good question. The time I'm doing importation of spare parts, I made more money than into manufacturing. But that one cannot help our nation. If all of us continue with trading, we cannot help us. Now what I'm thinking is what to do to get dollar in instead of sending dollar money out. So myself going into manufacturing now, my own planning now is how to bring in dollar by exporting. You understand? If it is to make money, I will be importing. But what I'm planning now is to how to be exporting, to be getting dollar. Getting dollar will save our economy. And Nigeria will be more fine if many people are getting dollar in. This issue of scarcity of dollar is one of our major problems. If we can be able to export very well, get enough dollar to buy the one we don't have here, it will help everybody. So if I'm doing trading here by importing only, how can I export? My target is to do full export to other countries.
What can government do? Because they are listening to you as you're speaking.
Yes, yes.
What are the things they can do to help people like you? To not as in help you by giving you, but in terms of policy, in terms of the kind of things they can put in place that will make the kind of business that you are in and the kind of plan you've just talked about to thrive, to grow. What are the kind of things that they can do?
Well, I believe government is interested to support what we are doing. But sometimes people to implement is not easy. You understand? When you get a good proposal that will help the nation, but people to implement to it, they won't be happy doing it. Maybe they go and do it the long one, it will fail. You understand? So if government can support somebody like us, who know the system, who can be able to do export very well. Now I'm getting so many exports, but I can only do my capacity. If government can come in, give some support, I can be able to do so. I get so many exports that are coming in for me to supply, but some of them, I don't take them.
Because you don't have the capacity?
I don't have the capacity.
So what can they do, for example, to help you increase that capacity? Because this thing you're talking about now, Chief Udofia of Erisco Bumpet, Erisco Foods, rather,
yes,
had the same problem. There are several other people like that, the Chickersons and so on, or other people who do value addition manufacturing.
But
So what is it that government can do to improve? Because it is people like you who probably can employ private sector
yes,
and so on, not people
yes,
wearing ties like me, but
yes.
I mean people who can get jobs.
My issue now is that number one, that I find out that getting dollar from CBN is difficult. So I'm targeting how to be exporting so that we can be getting dollar in.
But you need the dollars to be able to get the raw material to do the export.
Like I don't produce engine in Nigeria. No company produce engine in Nigeria. I must buy something like engine and the electronics to make my products.
For the product. Right?
Yes, yes. So those things need foreign nations. So I'm planning the way when I export, I can be able to get foreign nations to build those ones. Because when to get it from the CBN is difficult. So I don't think that is the way I'm thinking. But sometimes when I get some exports, I won't have capacity to export. Sometimes I leave it.
Would you support a ban on importation of some? Of course, there is a ban on the importation of several items. But would you support them making that ban wider to include some of the products and for protection of the local industry that is growing, like yours and some of the others that have already mentioned? Would you? There are people who have said, using the example of a country like China, what they did was to say, no, if the quality is poor, so consume it, complain, the manufacturer will improve, and so on, until it gets to the standard you want. And that's how they develop their own industry. Would you support that here?
What you're saying is correct. Nigerians have to support local production in all ways. Let me tell you, like if really Nigeria understand what we are doing, that we are doing manufacturing, all the embassies, when Nigeria have embassies, made in Nigerian very people were there. Like if you go to an American embassy in Nigeria, you will see that they are using Ford. It's their own brand. If you go to the German embassy here, you see that they're using BMW. It's their own brand. Government can help us by using our vehicle into their embassies. Anywhere Nigeria has an embassy. You understand? They put it to be made in Nigeria, in that embassy where Nigeria is. Those people in that country, it's an opportunity for them to see that motor for the first time. It will help people in that country to drive that motor. Because when they see it, if the motor is good, people may like it and order it from Nigeria, and more foreign agents will be coming in.
If what you said is correct, one of the things that will impact, or that I'm sure has been impacting you, is the state of security in the country. You are operating from the Southeast. The Southeast has been in the news recently for security reasons. And everywhere you go, there are checkpoints there. How has this impacted you, your business?
Everybody wants security. As the checking point is okay, give that checking point they are putting is okay. We are happy with that. It doesn't matter. It's to give security for everybody. It's not only for me. You understand? If you come, they check your pass and nothing more. They don't correct anything for you. So I didn't see anything wrong on that.
But how have you been impacted by the reason why those things were brought? The trouble that was created? I
don't know. Most time I face production. I don't know much about all their reasons. But I know before they put checkpoint, there will be their reason. Nobody knows, because they'll be having security reports. With security report, they know when to put checkpoint and when to remove it. Government have all those things.
How about COVID-19? Yes, COVID-19. Were you affected by COVID-19?
COVID-19 affected all the business in the whole world. It affected us.
Did you have to shut down at some point?
We didn't shut down, but we managed to keep the rules of COVID-19 to survive.
Where did you get your parts from at that time? Because many of the traditional manufacturers of parts and this kind of raw materials and so on had to close down. Japan, China.
Some of them closed down.
So how did you survive during that period?
I do the same way other companies are doing.
Which is?
No, so if there is anyone that open, everybody will rush and get away from that side.
But you have particular challenges because some of those places are far from here. They are nearer for other people.
You know, when there is difficulty, when there is difficulty most time, new idea will come up.
Did that create an opportunity for you to maybe do local manufacturing?
That opportunity make me to get more of local item, local input on the manufacturing.
And how did you find those? Because some of manufacturers like you usually complain about the quality of parts and things made here.
That's what I told you, that I've been on the past for a long time. So I have all the experience. So I know how to get the correct quality and what to do to get it. And so I know much about the parts by myself, not somebody to do for me. Anything about parts, I take care and control.
Are you thinking that because now the COVID thing has not gone, we are in another phase now. People are talking about the Delta variant now. Are you having any plans? Are you worried that this may again lead to bottleneck or obstacles for you? If so, what plans are you making to prepare yourself against that, both from the side of what you need by way of materials from outside, and then by your own factory operations?
We are not playing for the COVID-19, but I believe that COVID-19 has come. It cannot be more than the first time we see it, because when COVID-19, the first time, it get everybody because nobody knows what it is. So now, even though there's COVID-19, the system, people will know how to dodge it and continue what they are doing. So we can't focus attention waiting for COVID-19. When COVID-19 is come, we see it, and then we know how to protect it.
You interact with people like you in other countries, people who are manufacturing in their home countries, and so on. And I know that there can not be any doubt when you have such interactions, a comparison between our own system and what you are going through and how you're operating and how that person is operating in his own system, you will discuss.
True. Nigeria are very difficult to manufacture. That's why it's very hard. But when we are discussing with other manufacturers outside Nigeria, we find out that things are so easy for them. But I believe one day Nigeria will be like that. The way attention is going to manufacturing now, I believe in near future, Nigeria will be a great country.
There was a time they talked about backward integration, where someone like you or organizations like yours would partner with those who already have technology. And after a particular period of time, that technology would be transferred because you would have worked with them for so long, and therefore you would know how to produce and maintain those things. It happened for some time. I don't know if you were one of those who participated at that time, but do you think it's a good idea, going by your own knowledge, your own experience? Is it a good idea? Does it work?
Okay, let me explain to you. When I started this, my factory, I have 60 foreigners in the factory. 60 foreigners helped to start this factory. But today we have only 2. Out of the 60, I have only 2. Because I paid when they come to train us on the systems, because we don't have it here too. I pay them, they come in and work with us. Some of them work for 1 year, some of them work for 2 years, some of them 3 years, some of them every year they are reducing. Today we have only 2 foreigners in the factory.
So it's a good idea. It works.
Yeah, it works. Because those my boys, they have trained them. Even I send some Nigerians overseas to train, but finally I bring the experts here. They train many of my workers. And that's why they can be capable to do it today.
The issue of transferring technology from those who have to those who don't have, or superior technology. I mean, because if you are here, definitely, and you are in automobiles, Germans, French, British, American, companies have been there for hundreds of years, and they have operated for that length of time. Do you believe that us having a policy of seeking to transfer technology that they have to us, to help us grow our own industries, is useful?
Well, I believe they are not eager to even help us.
They are not?
Anything they are doing for you, be ready to pay them for it. If you are ready to pay, they are going to give you. You understand? I didn't see they are just dashing out the technology. We pay for it.
But okay, by your own experience, can we afford to pay for it?
Well,
because what other countries did sometimes is they take it or they make it government policy that if you are going to come and sell here, you have to hand that technology over to some people.
No, if you force him to transfer the technology to you, you cannot get it correct. You make sure you have good relationship with him. Discuss with him. He will tell you what. If you want to have it, discuss it with him. He will tell you what and what he can be able to do for you. Then sometimes the white people think all of us are fools, but sometimes they will know you can be able to catch up with that system. Sometimes you bring some expert engineers, local. After some time, they will understand it. But they don't believe within them that we can capture it so easy. You understand? Some of them think.
And this has happened several times where they didn't think that we could catch up with it, and then we did.
Yes.
And we're able to.
We are not animals. We are normal people like them.
One of the things that usually come up with value addition, especially for manufactured goods, is what happens after you've sold it. People will raise the point that if you buy something that is made in Nigeria, after you've used it for a time, either for servicing or maintenance or even repair if it develops a fault.
Okay. When I started motor manufacturing, I started with the bus to produce bus. It is P2B that tell me that he used my bus, that he's happy with it. Can I be able to produce security vehicle for him? That's pickup. And also produce SUV for the ships. I say, let me tell me exactly what you want. Let me go ahead. I call my engineers, all of us, we sit down. This is the offer people will give me. And he said he's going to pay us in advance to do it. I said, no, we have
That's a policy. That's a policy help.
Yes, he wants me to do it for him. I tell them we have to do it. He tell us what we want. We design it and produce it for him. Because what he encouraged us that he paid us in advance. Man, that thing P2B did, I will not be producing SUV today. I will not be producing a pickup today. It is because of that order he gave me. That's why I include it immediately. Because he said, if I will do, he's going to pay me in advance. And he paid me.
That was the kind of policy I was referring to earlier.
It is because of P2B that makes me to be able to producing SUV today and pickup. And today in Nigerian market, my pickup is number 1. But that first one I produced for P2B, every year we improve. But today, our pickup, any quantity we produce can be sold. People are so interested on it. It's number 1 quality in the market. Because I meant so many things.
But how do we maintain it? Now, for example, those first ones you made for the OB administration in Anambra State, by now they must be about maybe 10 years old.
11 years.
11 years old. Now, how are those kind of products to be maintained?
I still maintain it because these people.
You have a post-sale.
We have it. We have the spare parts. It's still on the road. People are still enjoying it. You understand?
Often the problem that comes from the Nigerian product also is a question of those who are used to buying outside. There is warranty there's guarantee that says after, if you buy, if anything happens within this period, bring it back. We will fix it or we will change it.
There's a company from Lagos that have meeting with me 2 days ago. They bought about 500 vehicles from me. And I signed an agreement with them for guarantee, 2 years guarantee.
Why is it so difficult to give that guarantee?
No, I give.
No, not you. I don't mean you personally. I mean, why is it generally difficult to give that guarantee in our own environment?
Because they are not the manufacturers. This one is, I'm the manufacturer. So I can give guarantee because I know what I produce. If the engine did not serve, I will report back because the engine manufacturer gave me the same guarantee. I didn't manufacture engine. You understand? The actual manufacturer gave me the same, they signed the same guarantee for me. You understand? So it is pure. That's why I'm sure. Before I sign such guarantee to anybody, I'm sure what I did. My vehicle today, the quality is extra quality because I make sure I use the right items to produce. I don't put fake items to my products.
Power supply.
Yes.
Kills most industries in Nigeria because by the time you add the cost of producing your own power.
Nigeria have been talking about power even when we are building the factory. Power is a Nigerian issue. Even when we started building the factory. Even as of today, power issue. That's what everybody is saying. But as of today, the power in Nigeria is better than when we start. So there is improvement. I didn't say now power is issue. What I'm saying now, the tariff is high. The power is not issue. Now, what I'm talking that is the tariff for the manufacturer is high.
And you are going to pass this on to the customer.
Yes, government's supposed to make tariff level with everybody.
Okay, it shouldn't be in category.
Yes, we manufacturers are paying higher than other people. So we manufacture. But
don't you understand the logic behind that? I mean,
I don't know why.
No, but I mean, the people tariff, who are doing it for residents.
No, the resident is cheap.
Yes.
But for manufacturers, it's high and we are paying more.
Yes, that is deliberate.
I pay my energy for my power every month, not less than, on my industry, not less than 14 million every month.
But do they give you the power?
I buy diesel.
The question is, that was going to, do they give you power? Is your power stable? Is it regular?
The power is not stable because you are managed with the generator. You understand? But I'm just telling you that normally, I use power not less than 70% today. But before we used 20-25%. But the only problem we're having is the tariff is too high. Tariff for manufacturers is too high. Government will look into it.
And bring it down.
Yes, I'm bringing it down for manufacturers. Government must look into tariff for manufacturers, mainly on this area.
Some of your colleagues have decided to do their own power supply. That is, they are not reliant on public power supply. They built their own power plant in some cases.
That's why that's what we are planning to do.
But that's added cost.
Yes, because of this natural gas. Using natural gas is now, it will make the power to come better. If they didn't change the tariff of the...
It makes more sense? Does it make more sense for you to do
if they didn't change the tariff, everybody will go to natural gas. The only thing that the generator for natural gas is very expensive. You understand? But some people now have agreed to put the generator for the manufacturers and be charging them lesser than NEPA. Cheaper than NEPA.
That would be a niche market. But when you mention natural gas, that appeared to be one of the directions in which government is also going.
That is one of the good things that this government are doing now. With the natural gas, with the conversion we are doing, even motor, that thing government is doing now will help this nation. Let government continue with that natural gas supplier because they find out that natural gas is in Nigeria and it's cheaper to use. If government take it very serious and make sure it's available for everybody, I don't think nobody will be talking of issue of electricity or cost of gas or cost of diesel.
Many people both those in your position, those in other positions, they have fear about what is going to happen, both personally and to the country, to Nigeria. Do you have fear?
I don't have any fear.
Why?
Nigeria is a great country. All these things have happened before. Nigeria must finally become great. You understand? All these things that's happening is nothing to Nigeria. Nigeria must be a great country. In America, they have seen this type of thing before. But today, America is a great country. In Germany, they have seen this type of thing before. But today, Germany is a great country. They have seen everybody. So I believe all these things will make Nigeria to be very strong and great.
From your answer, I would want to believe then that means you are not in support of those who say the Southeast should go its own way and become Biafra.
Oh, the most important is that any Igbo man, when you call Biafra in the ear of Igbo man, he will look at you. Anybody who is Igbo man, whether you like it or not. But myself, I want Nigeria to stand strong. I want all of us to be one. Work together, achieve good things for this nation. I want all Nigeria to work together. Remove tribalism to this nation. Let our nation become strong. If it is strong, everybody will be happy. You understand? So I don't believe sharing Nigeria into pieces. No. If you share Nigeria into pieces, Nigeria will not be a great country again. Other countries that are very small, look at them now. They are not very happy. Nigeria is supposed to be strong, work together. Let everybody put his input to make Nigeria great. Everyone has his own idea. You see, as they're in the Senate in Abuja and the House of Members in Abuja, let all of them work together and achieve for this country, for everybody. I don't want Nigeria to divide. I want Nigeria to become one. You understand? But I want everybody to be benefiting from the country. I don't want sharing Nigeria into parts. Let all of us be great Nigeria. That's my own point.
Thank you very, very, very much for speaking with us. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Thank you.
That's NewsNight. Thanks for watching. Do let us know what you think of this conversation and much more. Our social media handles are on your screen. You can also watch this and previous episodes of the program via our podcast. Please visit our website, channelstv.com/podcast. I am Ladi Akiriduluale. Goodbye.